Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Now at 10, Huskies Nation is fired up tonight. Good evening and thanks for joining us on CW20. I'm Bridget Bjorlo.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. What a night at Gamble Pavilion. If you couldn't make it to stores, no worries. Fox 61 was there for you, talking with all the fans, all the coaches for the men and women tonight. Both Dan and Gino, and our Alexa Farrell has wore her Husky blue and has more on all the action.
It's an exciting night here in stores as fans got their first look at the 2024-2025 UConn men and women's basketball teams. First night is the unofficial kickoff to college basketball season in stores. Fans filled Gamble Pavilion to cheer on their UConn Huskies.
It's awesome, the vibes are amazing, and I love it here.
The two squads split up and played some friendly scrimmage games against each other, and had a three-point shooting contest, too, to get warmed up for the season.
It's just different, you know? You can't go to any other stadium and find this. Like, UConn is just its own, and it's just amazing.
The students and fans got the party started on Jim Calhoun Way with music and carnival games before packing the stands. The cheer and dance teams were there, too, handing out some prizes to the fans. Before the game, we caught up with two of the men working to make the magic happen for the Huskies. So how are the coaches feeling looking at their teams in October?
I'm excited to see what can happen, but right now it hasn't yet.
I'm weighing on the players heavily to eradicate things that I know are going to make us lose. So it's a tough time of year for them. I'm sure they can't wait for the games to start.
Dan Hurley is back after a summer of NBA rumors, and he's ready to lead the men to a three-peat.
I think they've shown enough that we could go into this, believing that we're right where we want to be at UConn when you go into the season, believing that you have as good a chance as anyone to get championships.
While Gino Auriemma is chasing history not only for another national title, but to soon become the all-time winningest head coach in college basketball history.
We haven't had a full team in 3 years, so I think there's a lot of excitement about what would we look like if we had everybody available, and his pages last year, and all that great stuff. And so there's a lot of expectation of it being great.
Will we get a three-peat for the men and a championship for the ladies this year? Well, we will have to wait and see. In stores, Alexa Farrell, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We've been following a developing story all day today. I-91 southbound still shut down in Enfield. This is between exits 47-1 and 46. A vehicle overturned just after 2:30 this afternoon, so traffic has been backed up for quite a while. We're still waiting on more information about injuries, and of course we'll bring you more details as soon as we get them.
Let's get a check on our weather now. If you're thinking about what season we might be in, you might be a little confused to learn it's fall. It's going to be so warm this weekend.
Yeah, if you're confused, so are we. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank has a first look at your forecast. Hi, Rachel.
You might even be confused within the same day because we wake up tomorrow morning and there's a chance for some patchy frost, but by afternoon, we're up in the 70s, and that's a trend that's going to continue as we head through the rest of the weekend, and it gets even warmer next week when it actually starts to feel like late summer again. 43 right now in Hartford. We're looking at temperatures close to 50 in Bridgeport. Heading through the overnight hours, we will once again see the potential for some patchy frost. So if you have been protecting your plants the last few nights by either bringing them inside or covering them with a light blanket, you might want to do so again tonight. Noticing we're getting close to the freezing point for Windham towards daybreak, upper 30s in Waterbury. There are no frost advisories in effect, so if you were to take care of your plants again, it would be out of an overabundance of caution. Otherwise, we're looking at a bright sunny day tomorrow. Temperatures beginning around 40 degrees. By lunchtime, we're in the low 60s, and we'll see high temperatures climb up around 70 degrees as we head through the afternoon. It's even warmer on Sunday, and then we could get close to record warmth as we head back to work and school next week. We're going to talk about this wild warmth on the way, how long it lasts, your full forecast coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. Well, now to Cheshire, where we're following another developing story.
That's right. A fire early this morning is under investigation tonight. 4 people and their pets were inside this house. 2 of the people were hurt. Fox 61's Kaylee Collins has the latest for us tonight.
Neighbors expressed shock and sadness while also saying they were relieved that nobody was seriously injured in this fire. They tell me that there are already community efforts underway to assist this family.
My heart goes out to them.
It was pretty shocking.
Neighbors in Cheshire are offering their empathy after an early morning fire forced a family from their home. Fire officials were called to the house fire at the corner of Rockville Drive and Green Hill Lane at around 2:30 a.m.
I was devastated when I woke up this morning and found out it was a family down the street from us.
Driving by this morning, it was like really intense, and it was a lot to take in. Seeing the house, you'd walk by with your children every day, kind of just gone.
According to fire officials, there were 4 adults and 1 dog inside the home at the time of the fire. Everyone made it out, but 2 people had to go to the hospital, including 1 person who was sent to the Bridgeport burn unit.
They all got out, thank God. And 1 person really suffered burn injuries.
While the investigation continues, neighbors vow to offer assistance.
It's always been a tight community. When things happen like this, the town automatically goes forward and helps as much as they can. I'm willing to do anything we have to do, bake, whatever. I'm a good baker.
And review their own home emergency plans.
So we do have like the window ladders upstairs in our house, and I was talking to my husband today, like check all the batteries tonight in our fire detectors.
Above all, they're hoping for a speedy recovery for their neighbors.
Heard 1 move to Bridgeport burn unit, so I really hope that they get the help that they can get.
I just feel so sorry for the family at this point.
The cause of the fire currently remains under investigation. Reporting in Cheshire, Kaylee Collins, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
A dramatic video from Old Saybrook where a man is recovering in the hospital after explosion on his boat.
Officers say it happened at the Harbor One Marina, and that's where Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc picks up the story now.
Officers with the Environmental Conservation Police tell us the man was fueling his boat right near that gas dock over there when suddenly there was an explosion that threw him into the water. At this point, police believe it could have been caused by some sort of mechanical issue with the boat. Police say the 38-foot cabin cruiser and the dock caught fire, all as the boat drifted away and eventually sunk and is now out of the water. At one point, the man was able to swim back to the dock where he was helped by a Good Samaritan. Police say he was conscious and alert on the way to the hospital, but had serious injuries. Nobody else was hurt, and despite pieces of the boat flying in the air, the nearby sea tow building wasn't damaged. Neighbors tell us they heard the whole thing and saw the aftermath.
Big explosion, it shook the house, shook everything. It was almost like an earthquake. And then you saw the smoke.
Unbelievable. Like if you'd seen it, or if you'd heard it and seen it, you would have thought the whole end of the dock was gone.
Now, officers say there was a fuel leak in the water, which was contained by sea tow and hazmat crews on site. Now, though police have a pretty good idea about how this all happened, the cause of the explosion is still under investigation. We are in Old Saybrook. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Now to a story you'll see only on Fox 61 and CW20. War on the other side of the globe is impacting Israeli Americans right here in Connecticut in a very real way.
A local man says he's struggling to keep a roof over his head, and it all ties back to what happened on October 7th, 2023. Fox 61's Matt Karen shares his story.
Well, for at least tonight, the roof that will hang over Joel Layden's head is red. He's staying here at the Red Roof Inn in Vernon with little more than a television to watch the images of war.
Matt, I might be out of this hotel the next hour because I haven't found somebody that would help me.
His face may look familiar.
There's only one word, and the word is devastating.
The man who used to help others find a COVID vaccine is now struggling to find himself a home.
This is war. This is war. And I'm not embarrassed to say that I'm a war victim.
You see, Joel Layden is Jewish, a reserve officer of the Israeli Defense Force. He says his funds are frozen in the Holy Land.
How does it affect me directly? Because I do business with Israel. That's where I get my retainers. All was frozen on October 7th. So now I'm at a point where I've exhausted all my monies. I'm right now facing homelessness.
We sat down with Joel in the lobby of the Red Roof Inn in Vernon, where the hotel's general manager knows the plight of immigrants.
We are the people, immigrant people, work 7 days a week, 24 hours sometime.
In search of a better life, Hafiza Nahid came to the U.S. from Pakistan in 1993. According to the Anti-Defamation League, instances of Islamophobia and anti-Semitism are both on the rise.
They use the B words, they use the cursing language, and they said, go back to your country. What are you doing here?
Recently I was called Jew boy at a nearby bar. There were 2 hotels that I approached before coming here, and they refused to take me because I was Jewish.
2 Middle East immigrants, 2 very different backgrounds, one with a hand out.
We should have a peace, love and care for every human being.
The other needing a hand up.
What I would suggest to anyone who's facing homelessness is do not accept it.
Due to permanent residency restrictions, Joel can only stay at the hotel 28 days at a time, and he's funding the majority of his stay through the kindness of strangers and social service agencies. Hafiza says she is happy to help when she can, but she also has to run a business, not a shelter. Reporting in Vernon, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.